Well, I watched very closely. These are three pretty Democrat states, assuming everything is fair and balanced, as you would say. I thought that New Jersey would do better. I didn't think that Virginia was going to do very well. I didn't think the candidate, didn't really have my support, my big support.
Is that why you didn't really endorse her?
Didn't endorse her, no, I didn't.
Blue cities voted blue. We all saw that coming. And no one should read too much into last night's election results. Off-year elections are not indicative of what's to come. That's what history teaches us. By the way, it's worthy of note that Zohran Mamdani himself only received a little over 1 million votes, 1,036,000 votes.
She is not happy about how her prices have not come down, that she sees. And she said this, quote, "I want the Republicans to keep control of Congress in 2026, but something has to be done fast. I don't see the best economy right now. Wall Street numbers do not reflect my Main Street money. Please do something, President Trump." So I guess what do you say to Regina and people like her?
Well, I do say this. Beef we have to get down. I think of groceries. It's an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word. Beef we have to get down, but we've got prices way down. And
After one of the most humiliating election nights in recent Republican history, where Democrats flipped states, shattered supermajorities, and painted the map blue, Donald Trump sat down with Fox News' Brett Baier for what could only be described as a political meltdown in slow motion. This wasn't just an interview. This was a man trying to convince himself that everything was fine, while the entire country was watching the house burn behind him.
Well, I watched very closely. These are three pretty Democrat states, assuming everything is fair and balanced, as you would say. I thought that New Jersey would do better. I didn't think that Virginia was going to do very well. I didn't think the candidate, didn't really have my support, my big support.
Is that why you didn't really endorse her?
Didn't endorse her, no, I didn't.
Trump opens the interview as if nothing happened. When Baier asks him how he reads last night's election results, Trump starts with his usual mix of denial and self-protection. These are pretty Democrat states. I thought New Jersey would do better. Didn't think Virginia was going to do very well. Classic Trump. Every time he loses, suddenly it was never really his fight. He even admits, I didn't really endorse her, as if his endorsement is some kind of magical power he can withhold to excuse every loss. But the reality, the blue wave wasn't just in 1 or 2 states. It was everywhere. Democrats flipped 2 statewide seats in Georgia. By 25 points, they broke the GOP's supermajority in Mississippi. They won in Pennsylvania, New York, California, and Virginia states Trump claimed were impossible to lose so badly in. This wasn't bad luck. This was rejection, a national referendum against Trumpism itself.
She is not happy about how her prices have not come down, that she sees. And she said this, quote, "I want the Republicans to keep control of Congress in 2026, but something has to be done fast. I don't see the best economy right now. Wall Street numbers do not reflect my Main Street money. Please do something, President Trump." So I guess what do you say to Regina and people like her?
Well, I do say this. Beef we have to get down. I think of groceries. It's an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word. Beef we have to get down, but we've got prices way down. And
Trump's new excuse, they're blue states. Oh really? Since when did Georgia and Mississippi become blue? When did Virginia's House of Delegates suddenly turn liberal overnight? This wasn't a blue state phenomenon. It was a Trump problem. And yet, the moment Trump pushes this talking point, his loyal TV defenders start parroting it word for word, like trained echo machines. There's no surprise here. Blue states voted blue. Yes, sure. And the Titanic just leaned a little. Then comes the most awkward moment of the entire interview. Baier reads a question from a lifelong Republican voter, Regina. I voted for you 3 times, Mr. President, but prices are still high. Please do something. This was Trump's moment to show empathy, to sound presidential, human, maybe even humble. But instead, beef. We have to get beef down. Energy is down. Prices are way down. Everything's down. Really, someone please tell that to every American staring at their grocery bill. This is the same man whose administration's data shows energy prices have risen every month. Groceries are at record highs. And rent. It's gone through the roof. But in Trump's world, you don't fix reality. You just deny it. If prices are high, he simply says they're low. If you're struggling, he tells you to believe harder. This is not leadership. It's gaslighting at a national scale. And then came the moment that made every economist facepalm. If I didn't have tariffs, the whole world would be in a depression. I did this for the world. Yes, you heard that right. Trump is now not just saving America, he's saving the world. But here's the reality. Those tariffs didn't save the global economy. They crippled American farmers. They hurt US manufacturing. They made everyday goods more expensive for American families. China, Brazil and Australia, they thanked Trump because they took over the export markets America abandoned. So yes, Trump helped someone, just not the people who voted for him next. Baier brings up the ongoing government shutdown, the one crushing federal workers and halting services. Trump's response: the Democrats have become radicalized lunatics. That's it. That's his plan. No strategy, no negotiation, no empathy, just insults. This is the same man who hours earlier blamed the shutdown for Republicans' election losses. But when asked how to fix it, he doubles down and calls the other side lunatics. He isn't leading, he's deflecting. Trump's entire playbook has always been simple. When the economy struggles, when voters turn away, when policies fail, distract them. Talk about radical Democrats, talk about Marxists, talk about communists, because if his supporters ever stopped to actually look at his record, they'd realize he's been spending their tax money on gold ceilings, $350 million ballrooms, and $1 billion private jets. He doesn't want them focused on real life, rising rent, grocery bills, or healthcare costs. He wants them fighting ghosts while he builds his empire. But here's the catch. Americans are catching on. A new poll shows 70% of Americans say groceries are more expensive now than a year. Ergo, and 60% blame Trump. That's not fake news, that's reality. For a man who once rode a wave of populist anger, Trump is now drowning in the same sea of frustration he helped create. His lies no longer land, his deflections no longer distract, and his supporters, like Regina, are starting to wake up. What we saw in this interview wasn't just a bad media appearance. It was a portrait of a man who's lost touch with both the truth and his own voters. Trump's biggest enemy isn't the Democrats. It's his own refusal to evolve. His inability to accept that leadership means accountability, not self-admiration. And as Democrats ride the momentum of a blue wave, Trump's world is shrinking, one delusion at a time. This was Donald Trump, trying to act strong while everything around him falls apart. And if this is his idea of a comeback, then maybe the Republican Party should start preparing for another blue wave, because the storm has only just begun.